So in today's age, do y'all feel like Virtua Fighter needs some changes for it to be successful in this time, or do you feel like what it always has been is enough? So we'll save the guy who's super excited for this next, but we'll start off with you, Mr. MC Mason.
Oh, well, actually, in my opinion, I would say that the most. So first off, I want to preface this and say I'm excited. I'm really excited for there to be another Virtual Fighter game. Like I am legitimately excited. I didn't really get to play Virtual Fighter like that until I think Ultimate Showdown came out like a couple years back. And
Cat
I
left on the
man,
Virtual Fighter topic.
huh?
I said the cat left on the Virtual Fighter topic.
Oh yeah, man.
I knew I liked that guy.
Oh no, you don't me.
Like
He's like, no, he's going to go pre-order the game, bro. He's on his way. But yeah, man, I'm actually really excited for the game. I've always like ever since Ultimate Showdown, I didn't really get a chance to play it before that, but I've always been interested in it. And everybody would always tell me like, "Oh man, that game's a really difficult game to play. You know, it's a weird game. It's a weird fighting game." And then I actually played it, and I'm like, "Yeah, there is a little bit of a learning curve, but when is it never? I mean, I feel like there's always a certain kind of a learning curve from learning most fighting games, so that really wasn't that big of a deal. But I played like Jeffrey McWild and Leon, but I like to call him Lion because that's the way it's spelled. But I had a fantastic time playing that game. But I will say that I can understand why some people weren't feeling the game like that. Because it is kind of a mostly hand to hand focused game. There's not really a whole lot of flash going on with the game. There's not, at least the last one. It's not like super out in your face. It's the meat and potatoes of the game. Keep attacking your opponent until they have no health. Like there are some really cool fighting styles because like the characters, the way that they're made, most of them are very differ wildly from one character to the next. Like, you got like Jackie, like I said, Jeffrey McWild, Lion, Akira, Pi, like all these different characters that all kind of play so like they're so differently. And but there's I think we were discussing this before. There's not really something that would grab you from a distance, in Virtual Fighter, for like most people. I don't think there's no real like there's nothing like a Michael Bay production type thing going on screen to you know what I mean to capture the imagination of the average viewer. You have to have, I think, in order to really succeed now, in order to get, because like a lot of your money in get it and making these games, at least in my mind, comes from right like the casual gamer, like the people who are interested in playing your game, who are going to give it a shot, even if they're not good at fighting games. So you have to. It's kind of messed up, but you have to have a way to hook those people. You need a way to hook them into playing your game for a week, a month, even a year. And then of course, they'll still be like they might drop off, but all the people who really like your game will stick with it. But at the very least, you got that initial capture of people who may not have who might not be long-term players, but they still bought the game. So I don't know, man. I think like first and foremost, like before anything else, you're going to need a way to visually and audibly hook people into playing your game that are just like casual like walkers by and just be like just walking. Oh, what's that? Ooh, I like that.
All right, it's on you, Mr. Gaming Love. Go ahead and tell us how excited you are.
Well, for those of you that all just have listened to the audio, he has his cat that was behind him, and as soon as he started talking about Virtua Fighter, the cat was like, "Whoop, I'm out." He hit the headphone. So that's I'm along the lines of that feline compatriot over there. Anytime I see a new fight game, I think it's a dope thing. I'm excited to see what they bring to the table. Those of y'all that have been following the podcast know I'm not the biggest Virtua Fighter fan. It's a fighting game I played. I've had some okay fun with it in the past. I played Virtua Fighter 4, Evolution on PS2. Had some fun with that. Still just like I'd rather be playing Tekken. Played Virtua Fighter 5, Ultimate Showdown. Thought it was cool, but still just like I just it still hadn't put its hooks in me. I'd rather be playing Dead or Alive. I've and it's the thing is like they're kind of the
My
same game.
goodness.
They made the same people, same input system. It's very similar to DOA, but I think that they have to add some type of flash to it. Because Tekken, I mean, if you look at Tekken used to be basically like the equivalent of Virtua Fighter, almost like just a 3D game and just hand-to-hand combat for the most part. But I mean, now Tekken is just anime is all get out now. You Devil Gene robots and fish. I mean, big bears doing Mishima style with robotic fish. So maybe it could be a thing where they keep it at its core, and maybe that's just the draw of it. It's like, okay, this fighting game, this is 3D fighting game. You can only get this type of fighting game from this series. So maybe that could be a draw to it. But I just think with the general audience, like you have to add something that's gonna, like you say, oh, that looks cool. Like you got to add something like that, or maybe it just, I don't know. They could bring the game out. Like I think it has to have a really good art direction. I know it's always been a realistic game. Maybe they can maybe add something to the visuals to make it pop a little more. Because it's always been super realistic, so that could be something. Maybe just like really hyper realistic visuals, and that just lends to like, man, this just looks amazing. I think some of the wonky movements they have to fix, like some of the animations, that moon jumping. Oh my gosh, I just never been a fan of the moon jump. I just it's great. There's an anime on Netflix called Garden, something of the wolf or something like that. And when you see this anime, you think like, oh, it's like Baki. And then you watch it, it's like the exact opposite of Baki. People that know Baki, it's like it's high octane. There's a bunch of crazy fights going on, just unhuman like fighting and stuff like that. And you watch Garden, it's the most basic like UFC leg kick, check, jab, body check. It's like, bro, and the intro is like this whole crazy Saturday morning style intro. It's like you on tripping out, and then you watching this like leg kick, jab. Like, bro, I thought it was about to be some Dragon Ball Z type fighting in here, man. That's basically, if you go and watch Garden, that is the equivalent of Virtua Fighter compared to like Tekken. Tekken is Baki with all this crazy stuff going on. So they got to add some flair to it, man, or just hone in on what they got. Hey, this is a more realistic style, realistic visuals, realistic fighting style, realistic to an extent. No supers, no specials, none of that. But if I'm being honest, I think they're gonna have to do something like that. They got to give me a super or something, like just zoom the camera in on somebody and have Jeffrey punch somebody. Because if you just stick with the formula you've been doing for Virtua Fighter, I don't know about that one.
Well, appreciate that, Mr. Gamer Live, taking the time when we asked you what could they do better, but you spent half of it just trashing the game. We appreciate it.
I don't think I did. I just,
Man, you was sitting there like, yeah, I played this, man, but Tekken, and I played that, but DOA. All right, but we ain't got a lot of time because we already an hour and something in, and we got another topic, and I gotta go get my identity back because an Asian man stole it. But that's a whole nother story. But I Virtual Fighter is a game that I really, really love and enjoy. Let me just go ahead and make this bad compliment sandwich. Because these Virtual Fighter fans, man, like I'll be online talking about they need to do something different. And then next thing you know, I get 50 Virtual Fighter fans be like, DM your address for all that stuff you talking. Like, bro, why you want to find me and put hands on me for picking on a video game? But
real fans are, man.
DM the address. They hit me with the Soldier Boy. I sent 150 shooters. Where you at? Like, all right, bro. But yeah, I just think with like Virtual Fighter, it's kind of like E said. Like, I mean, most times when people walk by Virtual Fighter, like casuals and stuff, I see it as like how my grandma would talk about Walker Texas Ranger when she watched it back in the day. Like, ooh, Walker hit that man in the mouth. Like, ooh, that's crazy. And then that's it. Like, you just move on and you just go on about your life. Like that's really Like that's really just it. They really have.
Virtua Fighter.
They really, they really like. There's really nothing else that just like captures you about the game. Nothing that makes you just stop and be like, "Ooh, what is that?" Like, and a lot of people hate when you say like they need to put more stuff in the game because Virtua Fighter has a strong fan base. Like they have people that truly love this game and will ride about this game. When we talk about it being successful in 2024, 2025, like you're gonna have to release it on. A lot of people like to talk about like, well, it just came out and it sold like 10 million copies for Virtua Fighter Ultimate Showdown, but like it was free. Like it was free. And then if you think about it, like that 10 million downloads it got, Virtual Fighter only has like what lifetime sales, like 15 million to 20 million. So all those games it released before, this one game got half of it, but it was free. So it's like, okay, like I know they was talking about naming like the Virtual Fighter 5 esports or Virtual Fighter esports. But so are they kind of like wanting to go in the esports direction? Are they gonna release a free to play game? Like, is that what they're gonna do? Okay, let's just say you do that. Yeah, it gets a lot of downloads. Are people still go play the game, or they go fall off and it be like an empty void, like Nickelodeon All Stars? Like, like what you gotta have more to bring people into this game. Like, not just like let's just say like y'all, they be so against like don't put no supers and stuff in the game. We don't need no combat mechanics. Okay, what about an install? What about each character have like their own type of install? You get to a certain amount of life, or you do like a certain you meet like a certain criteria. Each character has its own different unique install, whatever that is. But it also has to be something that you can visually see and audibly hear. Also, something that really like makes people just want to be like, man, I want to play this game. Like, what is this? Give me the sticks. Like I want to play that too. I want to like close up. Boom, hit a dude in the face, hit cave in, and he fly across the screen. Something, I just hand-to-hand combat is not just. I just personally don't feel like it's gonna cut it when we're talking about getting a lot of people into playing the game and stuff like that. So, that's just my opinion. Virtual Fighter is a fantastic game. Y'all gonna be in my DMs, I know again, but still, it just needs something extra. Like, yes, the purists can love it, but if you want it to be successful, look, you gonna have to bring some casuals in, and then is this gonna be worth Sega's investment? You come on, y'all. Like it's gonna need a little bit more oomph. So, anybody else got anything to add? Y'all don't want people talking about the game like old folks watching Walker.
That's a fun to compare. Hey man, I enjoy some Walker Texas Rangers now. So I don't know. I'd be now. Walker Texas
You enjoy Walker Texas Ranger, the fighting game, though.
Now, if we put Walker Texas Ranger in Virtua Fighter, that's a different story now. Like,
oh gosh,
him and Bruce Lee in there, and Bruce Lee snatched that chest hair. So I think of I forgot to mention this earlier, but I think of Virtua Fighter as like back when I was younger. I grew up, didn't have like a whole lot, so I would consider growing up poor, right? Let's say I'm, out of spaghetti. We don't have no cheese.
Can't relate.
Left. And only thing we got left is peanut butters and crackers in the house or something like that. And I'm like, I'd rather not eat this, but I eat this. That's kind of how I'm.
It's so disrespectful.
Like peanut butter and crackers will get you where you need to be, man. But would I rather eat something else? Yeah. Would it provide sustenance for my body and nutrients? Yes. But I mean, would I rather have spaghetti or turkey sandwich? Yeah. So, I don't know. It just seems so. The install thing that Rex mentioned could be cool. They could experiment with that. They already have a character in the game that kind of has something like that. Shundi, I believe, he's the old drunken master. He has a drink mechanic. The more he drinks, he gets like extra utility and stuff like that. It's kind of funny also watching the Shundi player because he's just doing this the whole match, just like knock you down, and he's doing all this crazy stuff. I will give Virtua Fighters credit though, and this is mainly a player's credit. For y'all that know Chief Flash, he's like, I don't know, if not the best American Wolf player. watching him play this game, like watching Virtua Fighter at a high level, I do think is really fun. Let me give it that prop and respect. Watching that guy play Wolf, I was like, yo, this is fun to watch. Like this, he's mastered his character. He's doing like wave dash stuff with this grappler character. He's doing some crazy cancels and stuff. I'm like, okay, I can do this. So maybe for me, it's like watching at a high level and seeing like but I know that's not the general audience. People don't care about the nuances of how we talked about this with Tekken. Like previous Tekken games are more defensive, more like movement based and like vying for space. I loved it. I love when I'm seeing somebody like and a punch thrown for like 10 seconds. It's just like back and forth, crouching medium, back and forth. Somebody trying to get that hit and get that confirmed. I absolutely loved it. I think that's peak fighting games. But the casual like, man, they just ain't nobody throwing no punches, man. They just moving around, man. It's boring, man. These dudes don't even know how to play the game. They suck. JDCR, this guy garbage, man. He just moving around and doing all this arsenal ass. Why he ain't man, he garbage, man. But of course, that's the casual person. They don't understand the full in-depth mechanics of a fighting game and what like actual high-level play looks like. Sometimes high-level play ain't always just boom, boom, bow, bow, bam, super like. That's not always high level play. Sometimes high level play is just 15 seconds of silence. like who's trying to get, they're trying to read each other. But I don't know, man. I think I don't want to be too hard on Virtua Fighter. I know how I feel about the game.
You already did.
I did compare it to peanut butter and crackers. I mean, peanut butter and crackers ain't bad. Sometimes
Basically said it's like eating the butter, the bread.
I ain't say that. I mean, sometimes they hit if you it's still bread. It's still bread.
Virtua Fighter like the butter, the bread. You skip over it and get every other piece of bread until ain't nothing left and you starving.
Man, I mean,
you might even still throw that in the trash.
Jeez.
I don't know, man. Like I said, the fact that like DOA and Virtua Fighter are like almost the same game. Same input system, combo system is very similar outside of like the counter system and the whole system in DOA, and of course other things, which is always, people that's a draw for the game. Let's be honest, but it was just more cool. Like Virtua Fighter doesn't have like the stage transition. When I first saw a stage transition in DOA 2 on Dreamcast, I lost my mind. Seeing Jan Lee knock somebody off of top of a building, they just do. It's like I was like, this is crazy.
Jan
If Virtua Fighter they just on the stage. Oh, a slip, fell in the water. I lost. Like, bro, what? I ain't get hit. Bro, the first time I played a match and I was blocking somebody, because the blocking in Virtua Fighter is weird. It's like they don't actually block. They like just dodging. So they're not really, at least I think that's how VF4 worked. From what I remember, they just like kind of dodge. And if you're like at the edge of a stage, there's not like an invisible wall that holds you there. Like let's say Tekken or Soul Calibur, you have to be knocked off a stage or thrown off a stage in Soul Calibur. In Virtua Fighter, from what I experienced and what I remember, you can just be at the edge of a stage, not getting touched, but you block a move, and because you block at the edge, you just fall off the stage. I'm like, what?
Yeah, because it's like if you're playing like a game like it's like Tekken or something like that. If you block a move with some exceptions, but for the most part, if you block a move, your character is like standing there and their feet are planted and they don't move. They really don't move. And like in Virtua Fighter, like they do have that kind of pushback whenever like you get hit.
Yep.
So if you're blocking, even if you block, there's still pushback. So you can block a move at the edge of a stage and you'll still get knocked out because there's still pushback from that from just like basic attacks and stuff. Like they're like some like it varies, but you're basically like a couple a 3 or 4 hit string might knock you out of the ring just because you blocked it at the wrong location. You just blocked it at the wrong. I guess that when you think about it, it's one of those games that requires you to really be aware of your surroundings like the whole time, because you can't afford to be like, well, I'm getting close to the edge of the stage, I'll just block. No, you need to move. You need to like this is a 3D game. You need to move around, sir. Get away from the edge, because blocking will not save you from a loss.
And I will give it that. That's very unique. That's like the only fighting game I think that I know of that has that mechanic where you just can, And that's akin to real life. If you're fighting in a ring and you're like the momentum, just your weight and velocity and all that, you're gonna get rung out. There's no invisible wall that's gonna hold you there. So, but that's also the thing about a video game. I'm trying to get away from, suspending my disbelief that I'm playing something that's not, and it's like Tekken, if you're in the wall, it's kind of the same thing but different. Like there's way more risk between getting at the edge of the stage and Virtua Fighter, because you just fall off and lose, as opposed to Tekken, you might get harassed on the wall and die, but there's a possibility that you might survive. So I give it that it's unique in its own way. But yeah, I think they need to add something to it, just a little visual flair, some cool. I think the main thing for me is guest characters, some dope guest characters. Do the Tekken thing. You've already had crossover with Tekken with outfits. Just put Kazuya. Somebody. I don't know. I think that would maybe say, hey, okay, they're trying to do something different. Let's put some guest characters. Let's put somebody from DOA. Let's take a fighting game, a character from all 3 fighting games, and put them in Virtua Fighter. I mean, you could do maybe Yoshimitsu. I don't know. Maybe take his sword away or something. I don't know.
Please no.
Yeah, let's put Yoshimitsu, man, because he's known for being in other games. He's in Tekken, he's in Soul Calibur. Yeah, put him in there. Man. Let's go, man.
I'm like, yeah,
but being annoying too.
I'm gonna stop talking because yeah, peanut butter and crackers.
I mean, like, one of the things, like, I mean, one of the big draws, man. I mean, of course, is you hear that you have somebody walking past, somebody wins the game as a lion. It's like, see, I thought I'm better. They might have to work on his voice acting.
Real quick,
you just said that was it.
Nah, he brought the voice acting. Please, that voice acting got to improve. Please, because I know exactly what he's talking about. Line, I want to slap him in the mouth every time he talks. I ain't better than you. I won, man. Shut up. Be quiet.
My time has come.
Oh my god! And buy another game. Yes, my time has come to go purchase something else. That's
my favorite one, yo. What a knucklehead!
Hey man, that might make it unique. That's probably what these Virtua Fighter fans want to come back. I know Jackie, his stuff. I didn't handcuff Lightning. That was pretty cool. Figuring out that came from Muhammad Ali. But we can go ahead and move on to our next topic.
Disrespect.
Have to go ahead and do this one quickly because I got to get up out of here. But
forgot the train, eh?
It's like those World Hero wing quotes.
Play Tekken, right?
Y'all see his ad name is right there on the screen. Y'all get at him. I ain't been this disrespectful. I just want y'all to know I have not been this disrespectful. Y'all be on me online talking about like, bro, you say something about Virtua Fighter again, I'm telling you, on my mama. Like, all right, bro.
Real quick, man. Real quick. I feel like just specifically playing as Lion, that is half of the goodness, is beating somebody and having him like be like that super obnoxious voice. Like, see, I thought I'm better. I'm just like, oh yeah. Got him.
It's like, yeah, I can't come back to the next Virtua Fighter. I can't show my face.